In this video, we're going over 5 simple things that you can do that will actually help you learn how to draw this year. Okay, you've heard it before, learn the fundamentals and put into practice. But before any of that matters, there's something more important, learning how to be consistent. That's why today I'm going to show you 5 steps you can take to make your drawing practice consistent so you can actually stick with drawing long enough to see big improvement. I'm Daniel, and I'm taking everything I've learned about productivity, gaining new skills, and building habits and applying it to one goal, learning how to draw. And I've created this YouTube channel to document my art journey so that you can grow your drawing skills right along with me. The first thing that you need to do is block out a specific time for your drawing practice. Choose a time, the same time every day when you will sit down and draw. And start off easy. If you can show up and draw for at least 10 minutes, that counts as a session. For example, every night at 9 p.m. is when I draw. I have a full-time job and kids, so this is the time that works for me, but we all know what happens. You say, I'll draw at noon every day, and then time flies by and you forget. So how do you make it stick? Well, the easiest way is to attach your drawing time to something that you already do every day, like waking up, brushing your teeth, or walking your dog. Something that I do every day is put my son to bed around 9 p.m. And when I finish doing that, I immediately go to draw. This is called habit stacking, and it takes advantage of a habit that you already have to build a new habit off of it. Now, the reason why blocking out a specific time window matters is because it eliminates a decision that your brain has to make. Decision fatigue is real, and every choice that you make throughout the day drains your mental energy. And the more tired your brain is, the more likely it'll say, I don't feel like drawing today. The more decisions we can eliminate, the more likely we are to follow through with our practice. And the more practice we get, the faster our art will improve. By having a set time, you remove the decision of, when will I draw? And speaking of decisions, the next one that you need to eliminate is, where will I draw? Which brings us to the next point. Set up a dedicated workstation. Choose a spot in your home and create a simple desk setup with everything you need and nothing you don't. Here's an example of my desk setup. 1 sketchbook, 1 pen. I have a few other sections here, which I'll get to later in this video. But notice it's clean and simple. It's only for drawing. If I want to start drawing, then it will take me 5 seconds to sit down and put pen to paper. I used to keep my computer here, but I moved it into a small bin on a shelf so that it's easy to take out and put away. I also used to have my phone and iPad in here, but that was a big distraction. So I made a charging station in another room and I leave those there before I come to draw. This has been super helpful to me in building consistency. And one of the reasons I think is because a workstation serves as a visual reminder throughout the day. My workstation is in our office room, and it's a room I pass through every day. When I see my desk, it's a visual reminder that, oh yeah, I need to learn how to draw today, and I need to practice tonight. The second thing it does is make starting my session easy and fast by eliminating decisions like, where will I draw today? Where's my sketchbook? Where's my pen? What page am I on? All of these things I don't have to think about because they're set up already. I just have to show up, sit down, and draw. But there's one more big decision that you need to eliminate. What should I draw today? And for that, you need a curriculum. Figure out your curriculum. Plan ahead of time what you are going to practice. I'll say it again. Plan ahead of time what you are going to practice. Decide what resources you're going to be learning from and have the assignments or homework printed out on the side of your desk. When you sit down, there should be zero question about what you're doing. If you don't know where to start, here's what I'm doing. If you listen to any professional artists on YouTube, they will say the first thing to learn is the fundamentals of drawing, and specifically the ability to draw basic shapes from different angles and perspectives, manipulate them, and construct everything out of these basic shapes. For that reason, I'll be using the free online course called Drawbox. I'm also looking into the paid online course created by ArtWad. Their lessons and homework assignments are designed to help you understand and practice these fundamentals. I print out all the homework assignments, or I write them down, and I place it on my desk. Now, I love having things be digital and not having to print things, but I will say having it printed out is very helpful. It's so much easier to access. I don't have to search for it online, And most importantly, I don't get distracted by opening up a new tab or going on social media when I go to look at my homework. The reason this is helpful is, like I said, it eliminates the decision of what will I draw today. You know exactly what you have to do, so when you sit down, you look over, see your assignment, and then get to drawing. It makes your practice sessions easier, and if it's easier, you're more likely to do it. Figuring out your curriculum can take some time and some planning. So if you don't know what to practice and you want to just follow what I'm doing, I will be sharing the resources I'll be using to learn how to draw on this channel, so subscribe if that sounds helpful. My goal is to be able to draw from imagination and to be able to draw stylized characters at a professional level. Your goals might be different. Either way, that brings us to our next point. Set quarterly goals, write them down, and make it visible. Most people say, I'm going to learn how to draw in a year. And the problem with yearly goals is that it's such a large amount of time that there's no urgency to start now. It's way too easy to say, I'll start next month, and then forget. What you want to do instead is break your goals into quarterly goals. 3 months is long enough to make real progress, but it's short enough to create urgency. After you come up with your goal, you want to write it down. Literally write it down on a piece of paper. There have been studies that show that you're 42% more likely to achieve your goal if you physically write it down. Whether you believe that or not, it takes 10 seconds. So just write it down and put it on your desk so that you can see it every day. So for me, my 0 to 3 month goal is to complete the Intro to Drawing course on ArtWAD, thereby learning how to draw the basic shapes, manipulate them, and construct with them. Here are the rest of my quarterly goals. And as time goes on, I'll work to make these more specific. Now let's zoom out. How is setting goals and writing them down going to make you a better artist? Well, it's going to help you keep your practice focused. And the more focus that you can give to a specific topic, the easier it will be for your brain to learn and retain that experience. It also gives you a direction and a feeling of achievement that will keep your momentum going and help you to be more consistent. But setting goals is not enough. There is something else you need to do with them in order to help you become more consistent, and that is to measure your progress. Your goals aren't something that you just set and forget. They need to be tweaked and maintained as you progress. So every week, take a few minutes to check back on your progress. If you missed a day or you came up short, which realistically you will, especially in the beginning, don't beat yourself up. Instead, problem solve and ask yourself, why did I miss a day? Was I tired? Was I distracted? Did I not know what to draw? Just be honest with yourself and then try to tweak your system so that it's harder for that same obstacle to get in your way again. What I use to measure my progress is this calendar over here on my desk. Every time I show up for a session and practice for at least 10 minutes, I mark it down on the calendar. After a week, I look back and I see if I missed any days, and if I did, I ask myself why. For example, in the beginning, I was missing a few days because I had fallen asleep while putting my son to sleep. And so I couldn't make it to my drawing session. Then I brainstormed, how could I fix that problem or make it harder for that problem to occur again? I could listen to an audiobook, that might keep me awake, or I could ask my wife to wake me up if I happen to fall asleep. Don't be afraid to be creative with your solutions, and it doesn't have to work for everyone, it just has to work for you. Now, the reason you don't want to skip this step is because this is where you identify weaknesses in your system for building this habit. Setting a goal gives you a direction for where you're going, but building a system is what will carry you there automatically. So by building a working system, you'll no longer be relying on your willpower alone to get you to draw. Instead, you'll have designed a lifestyle, a series of causes and effects that makes drawing the natural next step, and that will lead you to putting in the practice hours you need to improve your drawing skills. To recap, if you want to actually learn how to draw this year, you need consistency. And to be consistent, follow these 5 steps. 1, block out a time window so that you can relieve your brain of the when will I draw decision. Number 2, set up your workstation so that you can relieve your brain of the where will I draw decision. 3, figure out your curriculum. Collect your lessons and assignments in one place so that you never have to ask yourself, what will I draw today? You can also subscribe to this channel and just follow along with what I'm doing. 4, set quarterly goals, write them down, and make it visible to keep your practice focused and effective. And lastly, 5, measure your progress. Review your goals weekly to start to build a system that will get you to reliably show up for your practice sessions. These are the 5 things that will make your drawing practice consistent. If you want to see me apply these techniques and more as I learn how to draw, you can subscribe and follow along with me on my journey, and together we can improve our art. See you next time.